No.
Born in the heart of Wisconsin, where tradition runs deep and good stories start around a tailgate. Join your host, Eric Tasker, and former Major League pitcher Paul Wagner as they dive into hunting, fishing, conservation, and the great outdoors, and share the stories that come with it. Because out here, it's more than a pastime, it's a way of life. Everything outdoors, and the stories that make good memories. This is Tailgate Talk.
Well, here we go, Mr. Wagner. We are doing a video podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. This might be good and this might be bad.
It could be one or the other, but at least we got it figured out that we don't have to be right on top of one another, because that's what I was worried about. And yeah, I think we're in business here. So we were supposed to have a guest today, and we botched the time.
Yeah.
I don't know who's recording at 9 p.m., but it ain't us. I mean, you were at my party last week an hour before it started, so you're for sure not doing a 9 o'clock.
But then again, you guys stayed up till 4 a.m., so you might be doing...
I might be.
I don't know what the content would involve, but
it would not be good.
Wouldn't be good.
I
don't believe so.
That's for sure.
Hey, speaking real quick, speaking of your base camp, before I left, I did have a couple of those, and I wanted to say those bourbon venison balls were outstanding.
They turned out good.
They were really good.
They turned out really good.
They were really good. It wasn't like just a sip or a faint smell of bourbon. They were bourbon balls.
Yeah.
They were bourbon balls.
I doubled the recipe, and then when I started making it, I'm like, oh my God, this is like so watery. I'm like, oh boy. So then of course you just like turn it up high, you simmer it down, it like cooks off some of the moisture and all that. So
they were good. They were good. Okay,
so Paul Wagner here, Eric Tasker. This is Tailgate Talk, and I don't know, I almost say that with like a little like somber tone.
Because?
So next week is going to be the true next variation of the show. We've been working. I think it's Chris Ham's fault. I'm going to pin this on Chris Ham for one reason. We go to ATA. Chris is so kind. He invites us to go down to ATA. We've got 9 hours in the truck together. So we're just talking about all these different things, and we're talking about this, we're talking about that. And I bring up, hey, it's finally our show. What do you think of truly making it our show? And we'll brand it as something that makes sense for us.
True.
So it was a half-hour conversation of, well, what about this and what about that? And 2 days later, you get a new logo sent to you. I'm like, what do you think of this? He's like, oh, you mean that for the podcast name? And I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's something that we've said a lot. It's kind of our vibe. It was available. And
we put it together as, I think the name came about as us and the guys just hunting around my place. We had like a running joke. We're never afraid to shoot. We're never afraid to take chances. And we put things together. And what I was going to do is I was going to try to do something. I was going to get some merch, basically. I wanted to get some hats and some T-shirts, and I was going to mock this up as blah, 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 my place. And then because sometimes I get kind of, I don't know. I think the term pro staff is thrown out there a lot.
yeah.
So what I was going to do is have everything done, made up, and then I was going to have all of us everybody that hunts here, we're all pro staff. By my place. So that's what I was going to do.
So that was the real philosophy behind it.
Yes.
Okay. So it's funny. So I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I did the Okayest Hunters shoot up just not far north of here. They had I had run into a girl. I had met a girl that had pretty well involved with the outdoors, and she actually had a shirt on, and the back of it said bro staff. Okay.
Really?
Which I thought was actually pretty funny. So we get to talking to her and she's like, I think people who claim that they're pro staff are so obnoxious.
Well, you never told me the story. Never told
Yeah.
me.
So we just kind of get to talking with her and she's like, yeah, so I made this shirt like as a joke and people love it.
Yeah.
So I might like start actually making them. And I've always thought of that. I've thought of that girl for the last couple years. And she's a very like vocal conservationist and she's involved. Like she'll go to Capitol Hill in Madison and she'll lobby for things that matter to her. And I had, so this is just, this is so funny that I finally get to tell this story. So I follow all these brands and we had a buddy, Patty and I had a buddy that we shot league with at one point. We kind of like met through social media and he was notorious for like making his posts over the top. Like it would be like if I posted a picture of me shooting my bow, I would like do a long paragraph and it would be thank you to @Carbon Express for making these great arrows. At Buck Rub Archery, got my bow set up.
Hashtag this, hashtag that.
These at Rage Broadheads just fly so great. They fly just like a field tip, whatever, yada, 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 whatever. Well, that same individual absolutely loved this brand that makes a phone mount for your stabilizer. Or like you could put it on your gun or you could do it in whatever capacity. It was just a mag mount, like a magnetic mount, you know, because most of our phones nowadays have these like MagSafe adapters in the back. And I kept seeing the video from this guy about like how great their attachment is. And I chimed in every single time that I saw one and said, yeah, that's great. But the one split second that matters the most, the shot, you can't see it because no matter what you say, it's not anti-vibration.
Oh, yeah.
Because Sherry, bless her soul, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago for our anniversary, she got me a Tacticam.
Okay.
And I had been kind of like thinking about it. And like all the guys at work are like, you got to get him a Tacticam. You got to get him the one that like goes on the rifle barrel. I'm like, okay, you know, super, super cool gift. Problem is, you don't get the kill shot because of the vibration or like on a gun, it's the smoke or
a pole,
you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I argued with this guy like back and forth and he finally responded to me. And I made the comment to him. So bro staff is one thing. And then the other one that I had said to this guy that actually like kind of calmed the conversation was, I can just tell you right now that I don't, just because you have a bunch of brand jock sniffers that love your product, I've actually done the testing on it and it does not work. No matter what you say, you cannot have something mounted to the barrel of your gun or to your bow because that split second that absolutely matters.
Yeah.
You get the vibration.
Right.
So, and he's like, well, you know, if you shoot outside of 30 yards or like if you're shooting at 30 yards, like the camera has enough time to settle. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that you're telling people that you have a product that is anti-vibration and it's not. So if I'm shooting a buck of a lifetime.
So you got into a good match with them.
I did. Yeah, because these people drive me crazy. And like, get a camera arm for the tree.
Right.
If you really want it that bad, get a camera arm for the tree. It's the only way to have an anti-vibration setup when filming hunts.
100%.
So I'm so glad that we went down this path. I love that story, and I just thought it was so funny that this guy was like, brand jock sniffer, that's a new one I've never heard. I'm going to start using that.
That is funny.
So
though,
we're going to have brand jock sniffers that love our new show and our logo and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are. I mean, it's something that has been in the works for a while and something that you and I have talked about. And We're making the leap of faith. It's already in progress.
And I think it was something that we had to do. It was something that I think with Tailgate Talk, with iHeart, with 97.3 The Game, with the individuals involved, everything had almost run its course that way. And not that we've already worked on it. Not that we're forgetting or, just leaving it in the past.
Right.
It's still part of the show. It is, but I think it's time right now for us to rebrand, scrub it up, start over and move forward from here.
Right.
Because it's different individuals, it's different entities, and we're working together and we're meeting different people. And it'd be nice to bring it into this realm, not necessarily the realm of last.
Right. Right. And we've kind of talked about that. It's kind of interesting as I've looked through. So for those listeners that have been a fan of our show, we're going to do everything we can to make everybody aware of where to find the new podcast. It's going to be a whole new feed. It's going to be everything under this new umbrella. So we're going to have 210 or 211 episodes under the Tailgate Talk moniker, under our new show. So because a big thing for us is that, we have 210 hours of history together.
Right.
That is not forgotten. It's not gone. It's just still under that old umbrella, and that's totally fine. Because that's where we started.
Yeah.
That's
it is
everything
who
that we kind of had.
Yes.
And, there were a lot of really great conversations in there. I look back and we had 3 different pro fishermen over the course of the years. We have had all of these guests from these major Wisconsin brands. We've got this great friendship with Chris Ham that's come out of it. We've got all of these different things that's our story.
Right.
So we're not erasing that, and we're not just starting fresh, but a big thing for us is that that's what it was. This is what it will be, and we're really excited on kind of where we're at and where we're moving forward from here.
Like Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick.
Right.
See, this is the new.
Yeah.
This is the new
Tailgate
older
Talk Maverick.
Yeah. I'm the older Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer, and you're the young goose. You're the young goose.
Yeah. So that's to come. So it's all right. We've kind of just waited to say something about it. Now that we're kind of putting together a show on the fly, essentially, I figured it would just be something. So next week will be the big week. I think I'll probably, once I have all of the episodes uploaded, I will actually start pushing that out to social media, because the last thing that I want, when I sent you the link for where the show is now, the first thing you said was, well, what the hell? This is like a super old episode. I'm like, oh my God. Because it's just,
it goes back to zero, or it goes back to
number one. It goes back to number one.
And if we don't, if you don't, obviously, that number one is number one.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right.
But it was like when you sent that, I got it all over, and it was like, here we are. Here we are. It's this.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting just to kind of go back. I think it's no secret. We've had multiple different co-hosts that have been a part of this show for the last couple of years. And I keep saying 4 years. It's been 5 years.
Right.
Which is crazy, because you can't get to 4 years and 210 episodes, because we have missed, a bunch of them here and there. And then we were on a hiatus and we didn't know what was happening and just trying to make things work. But we've always just kind of been under this shield of well, this is kind of status quo. This is what we do. This is what our show is. And now we've got the Paul Wagner and Eric Tasker version of the show, which I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think it's our best edition of what we do, because it's not 3 people. It's not 3 conversations. It's not, all of these different kind of schedules, and just so many things go into it when it's more than 2 people.
Right. And I've always been the variable that's in or hit or miss.
Right.
But then you can deal with one. I hate to say this, you guys did.
Right.
You guys deal with me on the hit or miss depending on where I'm at. But if you have the other two individuals who are supposed to be, or when you guys are in studio, or when you guys were at the shop, and then those timing, oh, I got a meeting here, I got this and this. So it was hard to correlate, I think, the two people inside.
Right.
It was easier for me because you knew, okay, hey, I got to take the guys to the gym.
Right.
I'm going to sit in the parking lot and talk. Or, hey, we're at the ballpark. We're going to go early. We're having early BP. Let's do it now. So my side was that, but then all of a sudden when there was confusion on that other side, which is hard because now it'll be just you and you just decide when we can do it and then we work together.
Yeah. And we have our own gear now. So we're able to do all of this.
Yeah.
And we've got the flexibility.
Yeah.
We do it at your place. We do it at my place. We do it at the stadium. We do it live on site somewhere. And then also like adding in just the flexibility of just the streaming option is nice because for guests and stuff, that was always like one of my biggest gripes with our show was that it's really hard to do a super engaging interview when you're not actually looking at somebody. And when you're just getting the audio from it, it just makes it hard because you don't want to step over people and you don't want to like interrupt, or maybe they're on track to say something and you happen to pipe up at the wrong time. And it's so much easier to be able to do it this way.
Right.
And just have this interface because, well, I mean, I was just telling you about one of our guests that we've got for February, which is going to be our arguably our biggest guest that we have. Somebody we met at ATA, and just, I mean, it's our thing to run how we want now. So if we want to go 20 minutes,
right?
I don't know that we'll ever have a 20-minute show, but we could go an hour and 20 minutes if we wanted to. If we've got like something that's just really in depth, or we've got a lot of questions for a guest or whatever. But we're happy to have everybody here, and it's an exciting time for us. I mean, it's something that I've personally been thinking about for a while, but it's a big step for us, and just our opportunity to be able to welcome in some new partners and just different things throughout the year. It's going to be great.
I think so too. I think so too.
Or maybe it's, hey, we're going turkey hunting and we just shot a bird. Well, how great would it be to just be able to do a show right after that?
Yep.
With all of the excitement and with all of the, adrenaline pumping, and maybe we'll have a bird laying on the table while we're recording the show.
There's just so many more different things. You're right. It opens up a whole new avenue for us, and I think that's what's going to be exciting as we move forward and we learn. We live and learn. We're going to make mistakes, but we're gonna do good things, and I think it's going to be exciting. I really think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so let's shift gears here a little bit. So we have we've been kind of talking about, like, there was a couple things with sturgeon, there's a couple things with turkeys. Why don't I just, since this is the most pressing thing, February 14th, so we're just about 2 weeks away. No, that's not Valentine's Day. It's opening day of sturgeon season in Wisconsin.
Yes. So I took down some notes because I was I've always been intrigued, and I might have said it before. I've never gone spearing. I've never actually speared a sturgeon. So I looked up some things, and I realized that they could shut down the days. The season can be shut down at any time.
Right.
Well, it starts the 14th of February. I also didn't know that you have to have your license by October 31st.
Okay.
So you can't go right now. My understanding is you can't go right now and get a sturgeon spearing license.
Interesting. So it is something like the other tags that we're all familiar with, like an application date in advance.
Yes. So I got some people that I've known, and I got it confused. They said Thursday, and it must be Thursday the 12th. So they're all going up there, and I guess sturgeon spearing, and you listening know this, it's a party. I mean, they're going up there to cut holes. I mean, they're not going to fish right now because they can't. But they're going up to cut holes. They're going to bring their shanties out there. I mean, they're going to be. I just hope nobody gets hurt with an alcoholic beverage and a chainsaw. I don't know how that goes, but they should be. They should be fine. So I found all that stuff out. I did find out that when I looked at it, I think the license is only $20, so it's very reasonable. It's a reasonable price. And I also then I looked up the biggest one ever. Did you know this? So I got some random facts here. I want to go over the predetermined harvest caps and stuff like that.
It's so on brand for you.
It is. So I look and it says in 2010, the largest sturgeon speared was 212 plus pounds, 84 inches. Now, that's big. Now, I don't know how big a hole. Like,
That's
these
an
guys,
adult male.
Yes. Like that might even be like a whale that possibly got through the freshwater system somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. So I didn't know it, but I do know that they do shut it off. And I thought it was just a random number. Okay, it's this. The cap is done. Boom, the season's over. You have up to 16 days. You have to get on this application. You have to give an app on your phone.
Sure.
And it'll tell you whenever the red light goes off, that means everybody has to stop spearing. So I guess they give you a little bit of an update, but I looked at these terms. So on the Winnebago system, they're allowing 350 juvenile females,
Okay.
797 adult females, and 1,252 males. Now, that's not the upriver lakes, and those numbers are a little bit
Right.
smaller, but the Winnebago system is that. So just generically looking at it, that's almost 2,200 monsters. And I've heard, and I think people have told me that, like, sometimes the season lasts 4 or 5 days.
Right.
That
Just depends on the harvest.
That's a hell of a lot of fish. Let's just say 2,200 is
Yeah.
kind of like the going rate
right.
per se. Like 2,200 speared sturgeons that quick and that
Yeah.
fast. I don't remember, or I haven't heard, or maybe it's just not documented, how many, it's up to a 16-day season. Like, how many seasons went the full 16 days without
Right.
harvesting the cap?
Hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah. I knew there were a lot of sturgeons that get speared in this time. That's kind of a lot.
it is
That's a big
kinda-
number.
It really is.
And how do you what do you just have, like an anchor rope on the end of your spear to get a 212-pound fish out of the water?
So I'm sure. So I seen the
You just
barbs.
chain?
Well, yeah. What do you do? Like this? Do I jump in the water?
Right.
Do I polar plunge?
Oh man.
I don't know. It's got to be to
Wow.
get that animal into that fish into your shanty through that hole. It's it's not a
Yeah.
one man. It's not a one man gig. There's no
Yeah.
way that's a one man gig.
There's no way.
No way.
So you were just kind of mentioning that about the sturgeon season. So Burnett County, so they have this lake called Yellow Lake. They've been implementing a sturgeon program for a number of years now. It's come along. So Burnett County's Yellow Lake sturgeon population has come a long way since the 1970s. So they've been managing it since then. Big thanks to a 2019 management plan and a number of regulation changes that came about since 1980, with evolutionary roots stretching back to the Cretaceous period and a morphology that, this is just not English, are members of the iconic species they live. While considered threatened throughout much of their historic range in North America, Wisconsin possesses one of the largest self-sustaining populations of these living fossils in the world.
And why? Like, why?
I don't know.
So
Because isn't that where caviar comes from? Isn't sturgeon a major caviar provider in the world?
well, is it? I'm going to say no. I don't
Okay.
know, but you asking me, it'd be like
Yeah.
yes or no,
let's see.
true or false? False.
Yeah, let's just Google.
I thought caviar like spawning. I don't know, like not the little black dot caviars, but
right.
I know people eat the salmon eggs and stuff like that. I'd be curious. Caviar. It doesn't seem like something from Wisconsin would be
Yeah.
hooty tooty
Right.
But am I wrong?
Isn't that crazy?
Am I
So
wrong?
I said sturgeon caviar. Is that the main type of caviar in the world? Yep, that's basically true with a little nuance. Sturgeon caviar is the dominant and most historically prized caviar in the world.
Wow. Wow.
When people say caviar in the traditional sense, they almost always mean sturgeon roe, so sturgeon eggs. How it breaks
Wow.
down. Historical prestige, the beluga, osetra, and sevruga, all sturgeon species, have been the gold standard for centuries. Now, do we have beluga, osetra, and sevruga caviar or sturgeon in the state? I don't know.
Well, we have the most. I mean,
We have a
just-
lot.
We have the
Yeah. Flavor and texture, large eggs with firm pop, quote unquote, buttery and complex flavor. Luxury association, Russian and Iranian sturgeon caviar set the global benchmark. Okay, so all these different like battles that we're fighting across the world is probably just all about
Caviar.
sturgeon caviar. Legally, in many countries, caviar is now allowed to describe roe from other species, so salmon, paddlefish, trout. In the traditional or luxury sense, true caviar is sturgeon. Today's reality, wild sturgeon harvest is heavily restricted. Most top-tier sturgeon caviar now comes from sustainable farms in Europe, the U.S., and
okay.
China.
Okay.
Non-sturgeon roe is often labeled as caviar, but it's usually positioned as a substitute, not the flagship product.
Gotcha.
So, short answer, yes, sturgeon caviar is the main and most prestigious, both historically and in today's high-end market.
Huh.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. I thought that was the
Yeah.
case,
I never would have guessed.
but it is what it is. So, the question is you catch one of these big old females, are you...
Call my broker.
Yeah.
Hey, Wags, what's up? Hey,
I just caught 100-pound sturgeon.
I'm not trading anything. How about can you find someone to buy this?
Yeah.
I got caviar.
Wow. But that's like one of the big things, we say it time and time again. We are so lucky in the state of Wisconsin with all of the different avenues that we have. Like sturgeon spearing is not something that I ever imagined myself doing. It's not to say that I wouldn't do it,
Right.
but we have so many things. And now is really kind of the downtime, I guess. I mean, like, yeah, there's ice fishing that's happening. And, that's much less popular, I think, than your regular fishing. But, it's like this little bit of a window where we have some downtime, this February timeframe.
Right,
I mean, there's
right.
predator control that's happening. I
Right.
mean, there's small game. Of course, there's a lot of those things, but it's towards the back end. It's after the whitetail season. So a lot of people are just like, I could use a break. And people are starting to get excited about turkey season.
Yep.
So we're like in that little lull. So it really fits a void in people's outdoor calendar.
True.
True. So if you're really looking to do something, I mean, it's certainly an option there.
And like you just said, and the Wisconsin outdoor calendar always has something to do.
Isn't that crazy?
If we were somewhere else, obviously they bide their time other ways, but it seems like you've always said before, Wisconsin does offer you so much.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to bear down, buckle up, and double, triple, quadruple layer,
right,
you can find something to do.
Yeah.
And that's even avoiding the outdoors. I mean, skiing, cross country skiing, snowmobiling. I mean, my family, we used to be big time snowmobilers and stuff.
Okay.
We used to, when know that about the caviar thing. That's crazy. But
Okay,
I don't.
so I guess this is still recording, which I'm not really sure how that's the case, but okay. One of those technical difficulties that we promised you at the front end of this that we would have. Yeah, so but how lucky are we? I mean, what a great.
So like I was saying, yeah, so get back to that. What I was saying, when I was growing up as a kid, I'd come home from college or from wherever, and obviously playing baseball, I'm gone the summers. So my water skiing and boating and pontooning and fishing and stuff like that was very limited at home here in Wisconsin. But we used to do a lot. So we're talking outdoors and hunting and ice fishing and stuff like that. But there's so many more things. There's so many people cross country ski through the park system, hike through the park system, snowmobile, skiing, the ski hills, the snowboarding, the ice skating. There is so much to do.
Right.
And again, I think that equates to Wisconsin going through all 4 seasons.
Right.
A lot of places say they go through 4 seasons. Some places say, "Oh yeah, well we have a fall."
Yeah.
Like down in Florida, you got a fall. You got a fall. That's like a late spring for us. I go, are you kidding me? I'm like, you're gonna be joking me. But yeah, there's always something to do. If you really want to get outside, you can always get outside here and enjoy the 4 seasons.
I mean, you just don't want to be outside right now because I don't know what it is, but it feels like this negative degree stretch is never going to end. I think we're maybe, fingers crossed, getting to the end of it here now. But my God, it has been winter in Wisconsin for the last 2 weeks.
So I don't. Yeah, so that's what I said too. I go to whatchamajigger over there. I go, hey, where's this global warming? And I go, he goes, hey, it's not global warming anymore. It's climate change or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how about if we just let's get that global warming back?
Yeah, can we go back to that?
Can we go back to that?
Yeah.
I mean, crying out loud. And it seems like, I think it was 5 degrees or 6 degrees when I went outside. I had to get water for the chickens and do some stuff in the barn. And I came back out and it said 6 degrees. And last time it was like negative 12. I guess when it gets that cold, there's really not a difference. It's just freezing ass.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just freezing ass.
Right. Yeah, which I don't mind the cold. I just remember making all of the golfers in the office so mad when I just kept saying in, I don't know, August, September, I'm like, you know what I would give for a 40-degree day? They're like, what do you mean a 40-degree day? I'm like, 40 degrees is my sweet spot. I could sit all day. I could sleep outside in 40 degrees.
Yeah.
It's like it's my ideal perfect temperature, especially if we're getting into October and we have like 60, 60, 70, 70, 60, 70 degrees and we get a 40-degree day, boy, I'm spending all day outside.
It's crazy. I never really thought of that. A target. I'm definitely a fall guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
mind
like
30s, but 40 seems to be a sweet spot. You're not in like heavy layers. You're
warm enough.
Super
You're not cold
concerned
enough.
about it. You're not putting
too
toe
cold.
warmers in yet.
Yeah.
40 degrees is my
I
bread
say
and
that's,
butter.
I never thought of it until just now. But yeah, that's probably right around there. That 40, 45 degree,
Yeah.
43, 42.
I've got a couple other stories here, and of course I don't have like an outdoor news subscription, which I probably should just do that again. A guy
I know a guy.
We know
a guy.
Yeah. Christopher Toohey of East Troy, so kind of like our neck of the woods here, shot more than 100 deer for Wildlife Management Service in 2022. On December 15th, 2025, he pled guilty to 10 civil counts of hunting deer without an improper license. So now if I'm reading that correctly, he shot these. He was a sharpshooter that shot them for the Wildlife Management Service in 2022.
Okay.
And then now he's being charged for this. I probably should have had more information than what I have here. A sweeping investigation of Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources game wardens resulted in a $10,000 fine for a sharpshooter with Wildlife Management Service, a company that contracts with local governments for removing nuisance deer and abundance of deer combined with development in rural areas of southeast Wisconsin, requires municipalities to take these steps. It's a terrible tease because why is he being charged?
I bet you just my quick assumption off the top.
Just see if I can.
I bet you people under his group or his company shot without the proper licensing.
Right.
I don't think he went out there and shot 100 deer. I think they harvested 100 plus deer, whatever you said.
Or maybe their quota was 80 and they shot 100.
And I'm going to say like, hey, Paul gets the ability to sharpshoot, but Paul can't get out today, so he tells Eric and Josh and Jake to go out. You three guys go out and shoot some deer, and then I'll just tag them for a nuisance. Gotta be something.
So a long list of violations from several years ago has put that operation into question. Chris Tui of East Troy shot more than 100 deer while working for WMS. Tui pleaded guilty of 10 civil counts of deer hunting without a proper license. A deer hunting license is required for deer culling work, and Tui didn't have one. This guy's out there shooting deer, and he didn't even have a license. Okay, send him to jail.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's just dumb. I gave him more credit. Than, I don't know. Sort of like those guys, we see those guys that drive by DNR. I like the, like granted we're in Wisconsin, I sometimes I run across a YouTube video from, or I'll be sitting somewhere and I'm wasting time and all of a sudden Michigan DNR comes up. And I see, did you notice that so many, like the Michigan DNR, and I don't know what their funding is, and I don't know how many people they have and how many wardens. I don't know how it compares to Wisconsin, but I always see them set up that decoy. There are like so many poachers.
I know.
And like I can tell you this, if I'm out here and this deer sits here for more than 10 seconds staring at me, I'm looking around. I mean, are we on video here or something? Because deer don't just stand around. If I come up, I park my truck, I get on the side of the road, I shoot across a road. I mean, how dumb?
You can't do that.
How dumb are these?
You definitely can't do that.
Yeah. And there's a subdivision right back there, less than 100 yards. But I'm going to shoot right here.
But that buck is over there,
and he was there last night, and I came back the next morning, and he's still there. Well, you dummy.
Yeah,
he's dummy. He looks like maybe he was a frozen goose. Maybe he was a frozen goose.
That honestly, and you know what? So I'll tell the story that we recorded the show last week, and I had to head over to a client after that, and I'm driving by Nabobin,
Lower Upper Nabobin,
and it's right across from where Pangabar is.
Okay.
You know, just on the other side of the freeway. So we're on the south side of the freeway. And there's the river or the bridge that's there that you drive over. So there's water flowing in between there. So there's open water on both sides of that. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden I look over and I'm like, holy shit, I think there's 6 geese frozen to the lake. So on my way back, I actually stopped and went over there. Well, they were swans.
Swans or snow geese?
I think they were swans.
Oh.
So, I mean, do we have swans here? You know, I'm like terrible with waterfowl. I know they were not geese.
They were snow geese?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well,
and
they
it
were
was
swans.
so windy, so I wanted to fly my drone closer, but I kept getting like high wind warnings and all that stuff, and I'm like, it's not going to come back. It's not worth it, but I at least got the image of it. So then by the time I get back, they're up and they're walking around. I'm like, all right, well, I guess they're fine.
They're not frozen.
They're not frozen.
Whatever they are.
So I had to go back. So then I'm driving to work yesterday or the day before. I'm like, son of a bitch. There they are again, frozen to the water. But they were fine. I thought that was so funny. It's like such a comical thing because it's, I don't know. We see it outside and we're thinking, oh my God, it's negative 14 degrees or negative 40 degrees.
Right.
It's not out of the realm of question. I mean, I just saw a picture the other day that there was like a whitetail fawn frozen taking a step in Canada. Really? So it was on the side of the road and it was mid-step and it froze that way, upright.
Oh.
It's like, it's harsh, man. But that's Mother Nature. I mean, it's unforgiving, and they don't live forever. So that's why we do our best to manage them.
As we talked to, and as I was looking at your coffee mug remember that the guest that today that was misscheduled from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. was not Chad from
9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
It was not Chad from Charisma Customs. It wasn't.
It was not.
It
No.
wasn't him. So it was a different one that we screwed up on. So we screwed it up.
That was.
But I looked
that
at your
was my
coffee
bad.
mug and I forgot
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't Chad. And if people thought it was Charisma, it was not.
It was not.
Who is
no,
one of our
no. Yes,
sponsors.
who's one of our sponsors. So let's go down this path. I mean, we're doing all right here on time. I'm gonna just do this story quick before we wrap up with turkey talk. The National Deer Association released its annual report on January 15th that takes a closer look at nearly everything pertaining to whitetails, including detailed harvest and hunter information from across the country.
Okay.
So this report, without going into all the details, whitetail harvests of antlerless deer and mature bucks both jump in the National Deer Report. So without going into all of the details of it, my first question in my mind is, are we finally getting over the bucks only mentality for hunters? Because for so long in social media, there's so many people that just think, I got to shoot a buck. I got to have the grip and grin. I got to do all that.
Right.
So we're shooting more mature whitetails, which people are being patient, QDM, all great things. But then we're also starting to increase and balance out the herd, or maybe, just maybe, it's people like my friend Paul Wagner who have 30 does crushing a food plot. And they're like, you know what? This year's going to be different. We're shooting them all. I think that's exactly what you said to me at the beginning of the season this year. So
We've tried everything, and nothing works. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it's more because you're in a transit. We're in we're in an area where
they move through.
they
here.
move. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm capable of having 690 acres.
Right.
If I had the farm out in Kansas here,
Yeah.
now you're talking about. I'm not saying it's not fenced in. You can't keep deer there,
Right.
but you could actually say. I mean, realistically, not 100% guarantee, but you could
Yeah.
say, okay, like when we go out to Kansas, it'd be like, okay, we can let that one go,
Right.
and he may survive. Like he's got a really good chance of surviving.
Yeah.
This one here, deer are moving so fast and furious that I think it's almost like we have to curb the
Right.
population. I have
Yeah.
to, because I'm not saying we're talking does and fawns, but I'm just
Yeah.
talking back there. We don't have the property where we can really manage it. This doe could be over there, and
Right.
how can we harvest 10 animals this year and we wake up the next morning and there's 25 more? How does that happen? I don't get it. And you're like, yeah. And
We'll just wait until all the twins start dropping again.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, like we've said before, we saw a lot of nubbies.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the 1.5-year-olds are going to be, monsters yet, but hopefully we took enough mature does or enough moms.
Right.
But again, it's a movement area. Maybe in the old days, I used to have a lot of bachelors, a lot of bucks hanging out here, and then I think those mean does that we took at least a couple of them out.
Yeah.
They would have their offspring. They'd
Right.
kick them out.
Yep.
They'd kick the bucks out of here. They'd kick the does
They'd
out of
kick
here. They'd kick the
everybody
nubbies out of here.
Yeah.
And it was just their place to eat.
So we're recording this on Friday, and I do believe tomorrow is the last day for the extended Metro subunit.
Yes, January 31st. Yes.
So we are basically out of hunting season now, which feels a little sad, but we shot a lot of deer this year.
Yeah.
So
we did. Yeah, we did.
And
thank you. You brought me over some back straps.
yeah. Yeah, well, it's the least I could do. Between that and the $5 fan that's sitting in the blind.
Right?
So the next season, if you're not spearing sturgeon,
Yeah.
is turkey season. And these damn birds, they've outsmarted me many times.
Yeah.
I see them, I hear them. we think we're close. We don't know what we're doing, I guess, but we're gonna scratch a little bit. We're gonna cluck and purr, and we're gonna do all the things to try and trick them to come into us. But I think this year's the year. I'm just gonna buy as many extra tags as I can, so I have all these different seasons and like time frames and all that stuff. And then a buddy of mine, Jake Semro, who I shoot league with, we were just talking after league this week, and another buddy, a new guy, Noah, is shooting league with us this week, one of my Green Bay buddies. And Jake has a farm in Coloma that's like 120 acres or something like that. He's like, I'm not kidding. We have so many turkeys up there. It's like almost a guarantee that we can find birds. So if we want to do a weekend up there, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I've heard that before.
Every time
like,
someone says it's a guarantee.
Yeah, we can. I'm not saying we won't hear turkeys, but I just gotta shoot one.
Right.
I mean, I shot at the one, and
one big one was just out there yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hey,
that's
big old
good.
fat guy, a big beard, and
big old tank.
He
So
won't be there. So
yeah.
I
Well,
bet they're
hey,
scratching.
we'll see what happens. But we've talked about this before in the past, and I think you were involved with it. My dad was actually involved with it. 50 years of wild turkeys we're celebrating in the state of Wisconsin.
Yes.
I don't know. I know you had looked at some of that stuff, but we did a trade with Missouri for their wild turkeys, and we gave them
Grouse, and I thought it was
ruffled
pheasant,
grouse.
rough grouse or partridge, whatever they call them up north. And I thought they were pheasants. That's right.
Yeah, so it's just, and now you think about it, I mean, look at where our turkey population is. I mean, I can understand the dynamics of it and like what they're doing with the elk population and just, trying to reintroduce some of those things. It's really cool to just see that, 50 years ago, we didn't have these birds, and now they're everywhere.
Right.
I mean, and you see them in groups of 20 or 30. You're like, it's hard to imagine the state of Wisconsin without wild turkeys now.
Agree. I would agree with you.
You
Agree
know,
with you 100%.
that we just wouldn't have that opportunity to be able to do that. But we're getting close. I mean, these years have just flown by now, so it's going to be here before we know it. And we'll be sitting out there in the middle of April and getting all amped up to go sit in the blind in early mornings. And what? Oh, go ahead.
No. Go on. I was just going to say something after that.
So remind me, you did do something with that reintroduction, or was that just my dad? Like they did like a DNR project where they actually got to go and like released caged birds into the wild.
It was established, I believe, the first time was 50 years ago.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to say in 2000, they amped the program or amped a number. Something happened so when I retired, something happened between 2000 and 2010.
Okay.
And it was an insert, like I'm going to make up a number. Let's just say we traded one grouse for one turkey, making it something up.
Yeah.
And back then, like 25 years ago, I think they decided, okay, this time we want 3 grouse for 3 turkeys. Or
sure.
It was an increase in, I thought something happened. And it happened about the time when I was back home in the fall. We would hunt. I did a lot of pheasant hunting on public land.
Okay.
Obviously, if we couldn't get to the Dakotas, I couldn't run ditches. If I wasn't going out to Kansas and then we weren't doing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like out in the Dakotas, you just asking, hey, can I walk through your ditch? And you kick up pheasants. The DNR was releasing birds. And I remember when we were talking to one of the wardens, and I don't know if it was actually a warden or it was an intern, and those 2 guys were saying to us that they drop off the pheasants, and I think that policy is still intact right now as far as the pheasants. You can't hunt, or at that time we couldn't hunt public land pheasants until after 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Where the dropped birds, they actually dropped birds onto public land. It wasn't, you wouldn't know it. You couldn't follow the trucks around or try to see where they were. And it wasn't determined for the public, but they would drop them in random spots and then you could hunt after 2 o'clock. So when we're talking to him, he goes, oh yeah, we just dumped a bunch of birds, and that's why I thought it was pheasants. We just dumped a bunch of birds in a trade with another state. Was it Missouri? Was it turkeys? I'm not sure. Was it the
Yeah.
Clam Lake deal when
Right.
we introduced the
Yeah.
elks? I don't. Again, I can't remember what it was, but I do know that trades did take place at least back then. Do they still do it now? I haven't read anything about it. Maybe they
Yeah.
do. I'm sure they do. Obviously, there's so much stocking going on with fish, birds, waterfowl. Everything is a stocking program. But yeah, back then I couldn't remember what it was, but it was amped up. But 50 years ago, I was 7 years old. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. So here it's saying, wow, the first reintroduction was 20 hens and 9 gobblers.
So okay. So, and that increased.
And that was
to
the
very
50 years
50
ago.
years ago.
Yeah. And that was in the La Crosse area. And then the wild turkeys were captured as they foraged in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri. The next day they were flown into a new life in the driftless area of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Optimal conditions there. So this is like considered one of the greatest achievements in conservation in the state.
What was
the reintroduction of them?
Okay, and what was the agreement? Like, what was the duration of the trade deal? Do you know?
So they just shipped them in cardboard boxes. Isn't that crazy? Let's see.
And it
what
wasn't
says,
just 20
though.
birds. It was the program ran for a while.
Right.
I'm almost positive.
Right.
Because there's no way we have this many turkeys from 20, 12. Would you say 12?
Yeah, it doesn't have the actual.
I thought it was.
details of
I want to
it,
make
though.
something up. A 30-year deal. I have no clue where I'm coming up with that, but something to that effect. A 30 or a 40-year deal where there's an agreement to continue to trade on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last wild turkey in Wisconsin's original flock was killed in 1881 near Darlington,
Wow.
according to the DNR. And then efforts began in the 1900s to bring the species back. They included releases of almost 3,000 pen-reared turkeys from 1929 to 1938 in Grant and Sauk counties.
Okay.
700 turkeys from Pennsylvania Game Farm were released between 54 and 57 at the Meadow Valley Wildlife Area outside of Neenah. And then those were all unsuccessful. So even with those monster numbers, they still were not successful. The failure of all these attempts was attributed to using birds with at least partial game farm roots and the lack of quote unquote wilderness and survival skills, according to the DNR. But wildlife biologists and managers learned from past mistakes in Wisconsin and other states too. Neighboring Iowa, for example, attempts to restore wild turkeys in the 1960s included relocating the Rio Grande species from Texas and the Merriam subspecies from Nebraska and South Dakota. Both faltered in the Hawkeye State, but Iowa found success in the 60s with the eastern subspecies wild turkeys from Missouri. So by that time, so that was the mid-60s, by the 70s, by 76, I guess, Wisconsin DNR managers were set on a plan. If Iowa can do it, so can we. You're damn right.
Right?
We can. The terms were 3 Wisconsin ruffed grouse for 1 Missouri wild turkey.
Oh, so it was 3 for 1.
It was 3 for 1.
I thought it was 3 for 3.
Yeah. Yeah, so the guy that all had this up, they eventually caught enough with some grouse, caught and shipped enough grouse south to spur their counterparts in Missouri to send the first shipment of turkeys north. How cool is this story? I mean, I guess I didn't really realize that there was all this involved with it. I mean, I never really looked into it, but and then the Bad Axe River watershed had pastures and south-facing oak woodlots. They secured permission from the landowners to release the turkeys on the property. I mean, if somebody came to you and said, "Hey, we've got 1,000 turkeys that we're going to release. Are you okay if we put them on your land?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're not all going to stay here, but I'm happy to take them.
Yeah, and I don't. My livelihood isn't based on a crop
Right.
that they're going to tear.
Right.
I mean, if they want to, Yeah. I mean, 1,000. I mean, I got enough chicken shit as it is. I don't know if I need that many. I don't need many turkeys like that. But you know what? It's like I'm not losing anything. There's not. Yeah, I don't have a crop. It's not like you're coming up to a farmer and say you're going to lose, 1,700 acres of corn, or you're going to lose that
Right.
100-acre, that little 50 or 100-acre parcel that you have corn going up or beans.
Right.
These guys are going
Right.
to eat them up. That ain't going to happen.
So then it goes on to say the turkeys were marked with wing tags, but not a single one had an electronic transmitter. So like they weren't GPS tagged or collared or anything.
Money, can't afford that.
Probably. Yeah, I mean it's much cheaper to just punch a tag through their
on it.
wing.
Yeah, just sort of like we get banded ducks, banded geese.
Yeah, and it fell to the DNR staff and local residents to track and record turkey sightings. Conducting gobbling surveys in the early years of reintroduction, he'd do a 30-mile circuit at dawn, stopping every half mile for a few minutes to listen for gobbles. I mean, that sounds so tedious.
And we've seen here, they're very patternable. Because right now to the north, these birds are moving through that field where they come through all the time.
Right.
And they get, as they move south or towards, me, they always get here that first, second seat. It's just a weird.
Yeah.
And they always say like this bird or a hummingbird will go down here when it migrates, or the bluebird will go here and comes back, and these birds come back to the same spot, these orioles or whatever they are. They're very patternable. So saying, oh, we're just going to do it like a visual count.
Right.
Sounds crazy when you read it. It sounds like this is BS.
Right.
But they are pattern. It doesn't surprise me as much as, you telling me that I'm going to pattern wolves or I'm going to pattern something else. The turkey
even
is
whitetails.
I mean, the turkey is, believe it or not, a patternable animal.
So this says over the years, Wisconsin has secured a reputation as a leading turkey hunting state, often among the top 3 in wild turkey harvests in the nation. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either.
Because you don't hear people say, oh, yeah, let's go from, I don't really, it's not like a big common thing. People from Texas aren't like, oh, yeah, let's go shoot one of these Easterns in Wisconsin in April. They're like, it's 80 degrees colder in Wisconsin right now.
Right.
But, I mean, people come for whitetails, so I think the whitetails set the precedence for what kind of wildlife and habitat we have here. And just doing a very, very thorough plan of reintroducing these turkeys.
Well, those guys that were
to help.
Well, the guys at the ATA show, they were you're Wisconsin. They were coming up, like in the Buffalo Trempealeau area,
right.
And I thought he was talking deer.
Right.
He's not. He's got a group of guys that are coming up to turkey hunt.
Isn't that crazy?
And I said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah." Well, these guys all want to complete the Grand Slam.
Right.
So. One guy who we talked to, and we're going to have him on, one of the guys who used to play baseball with, Tommy. Tommy lives in Panama City.
Yeah.
So he's on a panhandle, and they shoot and they harvest the Osceola. I mean, there's like he has completed the Grand Slam, and he's done it twice. I believe he said he's done it twice, or maybe it was somebody else I was talking to.
Yeah.
But I think when I heard him say, "Yeah, we're coming up there," and the first thing you hear about those western Mississippi River counties is you think white-tailed deer.
Right.
And they're bringing up a bunch of guys to come up here to harvest the turkey to fulfill the Grand Slam.
So a big reason for that, and I guess this makes sense, regulations put in place by the DNR decades ago, including a system to spread hunting pressure across time periods and geographical zones, is now regarded as the gold standard.
Okay.
So the way that we do that, where we've got our 5, 6, 7 different zones across the state, and then having those periods A through F.
Right.
That spreading that out, they're saying is, well, first of all, the gold standard, but also like that's what has improved our habitat and our population as well as it has, because we're spreading it out. It's not like a 2-week thing. It's not like gun season where we go in and we blast 1 million birds. But that's pretty cool to hear that. I mean, that's, I think, educational for all of us.
It's good to see that the system
Right.
is working. It is
Yeah.
working. Depending on how many tags you see it. As soon as you go for those extra tags, I remember, I think, what do we do that first weekend, or that like March 22nd, that week, March 22nd through the 25th.
Yeah.
You can buy all your extra tags.
Right.
I think the way they
don't
do
say
it,
that too loud.
I
We
know, we
just
don't
need to
want-
make sure that we get ours.
I think, you look at it and there actually is a rhyme and a reason for certain zones, certain areas
Sure.
to do it. And that's
Yeah.
good to hear that it is working. And it, like you said, if it is the gold standard, it's the gold standard. And
Which
it's,
is pretty cool.
and it's obviously a positive.
Yeah. Okay, I think those are all the things that I had to chat about today.
One thing that I did see when we were looking through
Yeah.
this is, do you know that there's approximately, it was just a random fact, about 13 to 14 million hunters in the U.S.
Okay.
And they say that 13 to 14 million hunters has decreased from
Okay.
a larger number even 10 years ago,
Okay.
but it provides almost $25 billion to industries throughout the country, whether it's restaurants, hotels, licenses, blah, blah, blah. So 13 million hunters account for over $25 billion in industry revenue generating.
I can't quite do the math, but is that like almost $2,000 a year per hunter?
I don't know
I
that
think that's
math
what that
either,
would
but
be.
when I see a B instead of an M, I know it's just a lot,
It's a lot.
you know.
Yeah.
But it was a weird.
Well, I
as I was
suppose,
looking up-
a couple people buy shotguns every year. They buy a new rifle, or they're buying new binos at $600, $700, $800,000.
Yeah,
It can really add up.
and it makes sense. The industry is, and it does. There are groups that are pro hunters.
Right.
There are groups that are anti hunters.
Yeah.
And that is because it is such a large. I guess I just didn't know it was
That
big.
significant.
So when COVID hit and people started doing things, and you kind of feel for those resorts up in the northern Wisconsin
Right.
or on the rivers, the floats, the canoe companies, there was definitely a hit, and how that all laid out, and how the state of Wisconsin, with help from the DNR,
Yeah.
helped subside or give them some funds to maintain business. And I know there's so many horror stories,
Right.
so many people did lose, but again, you realize the drastic effect of outdoor life,
Right.
and how it affects so many different people, and how much
Yeah.
money it brings into the state of Wisconsin that we always talk about.
Well, and I just remember going down that rabbit hole of like how we had COVID, but then we didn't have snow for like a year or two. I mean, it's
Yeah,
been a rough
yeah,
5-year
yeah,
stretch for them.
yeah.
So hopefully they're making hay while they can here.
Yeah.
And like I always follow Bent Camp up there on the chain of lakes, and I
Yeah.
mean they get like, we might get snow, we might get like 4 or 5 inches, and they're like, "Oh, got 3 feet of snow today.
Right.
Lake looks all right. We're plowing the lake."
Right.
It's like, Jesus.
Holy cow.
But well, good. Well, we're at an hour.
All
But
right.
we always joke about this, and we're like, why are we going to talk for an hour? We came in with zero plan today, and here we are, an hour and 3 minutes later. I mean, we had a little hiccup in the middle there, but
Because we literally sat down and we saw, you said, "Oh, he thought 9 p.m., not 9 a.m. We're like, what?
I know. And I was sitting here stressed, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm pulling up at like 8:58.
Yeah, no, it worked out good. It
That's
worked
all
out
right.
good.
Yeah.
It worked out good.
No, it always does. Well, I'm going to stop making promises on where we're going to be, but I can tell you for a fact that we will have a new show named next week. This week is going to be probably a lot of promotion of this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. I have a fun little giveaway, which I can't wait to share this with you, Wags. Is just the this like little like one-off thing that I'm doing with a potential guest of ours. So have you ever seen those little mini toolboxes?
Yeah.
I've got 2 of them in my truck. So I'm going to do a giveaway where it's just this little like mini US General toolbox. So it's like maybe 12 inches, 14
Okay.
inches by 8 inches. It's got 2 drawers and the top flips open. It's like a little
Yep.
toolbox. Well, Elevator Research Designs does a lot of 3D printing, and they'll do like topo maps of your property and all that stuff. Well, they actually have like printed organizing trays for these mini toolboxes. Like you need to put all your broadheads in there. You need to put like your like Allen wrench or whatever, and just keep all of your archery stuff in one spot.
Okay.
So we're going to do a giveaway with that, and just to like try and like bring some awareness to what they're doing, but also just, you know, in advance of eventually having Caleb on the show. But what a cool little concept. And it's like these little mini toolboxes are just like really starting to become popular for whatever organization or just like your junk drawer of the garage. But it all came because I had that little Plano tackle box, and I had posted something about that not that long ago. I loved that thing. I could use a marker, and I could just, you know, this is what it is. He's like, I got something for you. Give me your address and I'll send it to you. And I'm like, well, I can't wait to see this now.
Right.
So it'll be really cool just to see it actually set up. So once I should be getting it in the next couple days here, but that will be coming. So make sure to just follow the Wisco bow hunting page. And then, I want to just give, you know, as we're like getting into this spring season, a lot of people with boats and a lot of people with ATVs, UTVs are either bringing them off and like kind of like storing them for right now, or maybe they're like starting to get active again, but with the ATV, UTV. But if you have a boat and you are looking for like the ultimate protection for it, Charisma Customs in Delafield does such a great job with that. So they can either do paint protection film above the water line, which is really interesting.
Right.
I didn't realize that was like a thing, because when you're like bumping against things, that's where you want to protect it, but it doesn't make any sense to have it done underneath the water line. But they can ceramic under the water line.
I experience.
Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah.
When my boat sat, I didn't in the marina in Oshkosh,
Yeah.
out of Winnebago.
Yeah.
It got dirt. Like,
Yeah.
you can't get that off.
Right.
And what it ended up happening is that underneath the hull, whatever it wasn't like mussels or wasn't anything like that. It was just the water where there was acid or something. The paint would pack, and it would like look like pimples.
Interesting.
And it looked like little bumps, and then they would break, and you could literally see the fiberglass underneath there.
Right.
And I had to take it in before it went too bad. Plus, I didn't know what to do
Before
with
it
it.
gets too bad.
It gets too
before
bad.
it starts eating
So what
away
they
at
actually
it.
did is lifted the boat, sanded it all down, put that new coating on there right to the water line. So what I did is I had a white boat with black.
Okay.
It was white with the black.
Yeah.
And you know, like the stickers and the stuff like
Sure.
that was all black. It was like a white black action. So what I did is to the water line, I had them do black.
Okay.
So sanded it out, buffed it out, got right to the fiberglass, whatever they did, put it all back together, ran black right up to the water line, and then redid above the
Sure.
water line.
Yeah.
A little bit, but not like you were just
Yeah.
saying. So when you'd come over, or when I'd come over a wave,
Right.
or when I'd come in, I'd come flying in, and I'd slow down as I come into the sandbar or something like that, you could see the black underneath.
Yeah.
And then the white, and then
Would
it would
settle.
be like that. But
Yeah.
you do need it. It's something that I don't believe many people realize when
Right.
they have boats,
Right.
especially if you let that boat sit. I didn't have a lift. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a lift up in Eagle River, but down here I just let the boat sit. You know,
Yeah.
but yes, you do
Well,
need
and you
that.
think about how much people are spending on boats. I mean, you start to look at some of those like wake boats and things like that are hundreds of thousands of dollars for just a small investment to be able to protect that and make sure that it looks nice year after year after
Yes.
year.
Yes.
It's such a minor cost in the grand scheme of things. I mean,
It
can't
really
be cheap
is.
to get it sanded and repainted and refinished and all that. But it also just protects your investment. I mean, which is what they're really all about. And you know, a lot of people are
And your
doing
resale.
the big
And your
stereos.
resale. There's your investment in
Right.
resale. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And a lot of people are into stereos in there, whether that is an ATV or UTV or side by side or whatever, or your boats. If you need to upgrade those because you really want to be bumping on the lake this summer,
Yep.
do it now, because come May it's going to be too late.
Right.
Because they'll just be so busy and there'll be a lot of things going on, and everybody will be thinking about that. So charismacustoms.com, we appreciate them for being a part of the show. I don't have anything else, Mr. Wagner.
No. No, I'm just on that boat kick right now. Unless you're somebody who takes your boat and gets it shrink wrapped and let it sit
Yeah.
at skipper buds. Obviously, you can't grab
Right.
it. But if you're if you're able to have like an indoor storage for yourself, if it is at home, take that boat over there right now because
Yeah.
you'll beat everybody. Everybody, their boats all in storage.
Right.
They're all sitting shrink wrapped, and you can get your stuff done right away. So again, back to that, jump at it earlier the better.
Right.
Earlier the better.
Yeah. Okay. It's officially the last episode of Tailgate Talk.
I know, kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy.
So, well, pay attention to our socials here over the course of the next couple days. Next week will be episode quote unquote 1, aka episode 212 of our rendition of this show. I will be doing a good job of just reiterating the fact of there's a new feed, there's this is where you find it, yada, yada, yada. So just make sure to tune in for all that. But at Wisco Bow Hunting, at pwags_1967.
So what I do now, that's it.
Yeah.
So you throw words at me that I don't understand.
Okay.
Like collab or collab. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually throwing the information that Wisco Bow Hunting gives me, your back 40, even that. I will put that. I did actually have one of my players. I go, you know what? My daughter's not here. I go, I got this picture of us. Can you somehow put it on my how do I? So he hits it. So we put it on there. But anyway, whatever Wisco Bow Hunting, back 40 media, whatever task puts out there, he does include me now, and I am starting to forward it because actually, I don't know, some people actually looked at it, and I haven't. I'm finally getting into the game. I'm stepping into the toe first.
Right.
Toe first.
We we met Jared Mills down at ATA, and I had just done that, and we had a really nice conversation with him.
We did.
And it was just nice to kind of like chat with him again. We were going back and forth the other day, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I tagged you in it, and I'm like, well, I don't want to overwhelm Wag's page with just pictures of Eric. So I'm like, all right, well, we'll tag and we'll do like some of these things and whatever. We'll find a groove for what works for your page. And everybody's like waiting for you to be out there giving coaching tips, pitching tips. And they're like, we do an outdoor show. So this is what you get.
That baseball, that's not for that.
That'll come in summer.
Yeah, whatever.
So,
yeah.
Well, good. Here we go. Boy, I don't know. It's nice that we have the flexibility because look at all the different things that we talked about today that we wouldn't have been able to. I mean, we were at minimum 30 minutes over a radio show right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here we are. We've got the freedom and flexibility to be able to do this however we see fit. So thanks for joining in on it. Find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, soon to come video YouTube shows. It's kind of scary. We're going to actually have to look presentable. We can't show up hungover anymore. We can't do any of this stuff. So, but it's good. So thanks for being a part of the ride. And we will talk to you next week.
Sounds good.